That's the one. Billy Crystal.
Wow. This guy might be on Earth again. I don't know. All right, and welcome to our first official podcast. This is it's the Always Something podcast because it is always something,
It is
especially when it
always
comes between us.
Truly is.
Things always come up, and it goes from the first movie we ever tried to film, where we never finished because it's always something.
It really is always something.
All right, so basically, the whole point of this here podcast is we're gonna do a lot of things. We're gonna look at old movies. We're gonna watch new movies, reviews, just what we think about them. Basically, just kind of have fun and
Talk about what we love.
talk about what we love, which is movies. We love all kinds of movies. And that's actually why we're starting off the podcast the way we are.
What are we starting with?
So we're going to start by getting into, first of all, most of us like comedies. Comedies are usually our number one way to go. They're okay. All
I'd
right.
say most people like comedies. If
No, but
they
they're our
don't,
favorite kind of movie.
It's a red flag.
Especially me and Caleb. Like our favorite kind of movie is a comedy. And so I was thinking about it, and there's like a lot of critics out there that, like back in our day when we were kids, Siskel and Ebert, and then, all the different reviewers today on YouTube and on Spotify, all the different podcasts, and a lot of different people. Like, let's say, for example, your favorite kind of movie are black and white movies, and so seriously, like, how are you gonna feel about like a new age comedy? So if you're getting advice from that particular guy, that his like a newer comedy or a raunchy comedy isn't his forte. He's not going to like it as much as someone else would, right?
No
Depending
question
on
about
how.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I figured it's good to get to know the person that's giving you the advice or their view on movies. And so because I think it's good to get inside their head, we'd start with comedy since that's our forte. And then we're going to talk about the comedies we love. And so we're going to do the top 5 comedies that we like personally. Now, it's not to say that I think they're the best movies of all time. Like, I would say probably they'd be up there for just my personal, how much I feel about them. But it's not like I think they're the greatest movies of all time. Clearly, there's other movies that are better. But these are our personal ones. Like, to me, this is like, it means a lot to me. The most memories as a kid, ones I just constantly quote all the time. So,
and we do quote movies. All the time.
All the time. That's all we do is quote movies pretty much. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have our top 5, each person go down the list of their top 5 comedies, a brief explanation of why. And because we're so close, we might run into a little overlap. So I know I got a couple backup ones. So I might agree with you, but just so we're not repeating ourselves.
We'll edit it out.
No. No, but I do have a couple backups. And if you guys have backups or whatever, we'll throw those in there just in case. So we're not repeating the same crap over and over. So I guess we'll start off with Andrew, since he's left-handed and all the way to the left.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna start with you, put you in the hot seat.
Without further.
Are you ready? We got the lights cranked up on you. I don't know if anyone, any of the people in the crowd have noticed that, but the lights just brightened up on him.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go through top 5. Now, do you want to go through the list of?
No.
Here's a question.
Start at 5 and work our way
Should we start at 5? And so that's what I'm saying. Should we start at 5 and then your 5 and then my 5 and then 4, 4, 4, or should it be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? What do you think?
Well, I think we should start at 5, work our way down, because you're going to have something to say about my 5, and I'll have something to say about yours.
All right, so we'll start with number 5 for you.
All right.
Number
You guys
5 for
ready
you.
for
Go
this?
ahead.
Can I get a drum roll?
I gotta add that.
Here
Gotta
it
add
is.
that effect in there.
Step Brothers.
Okay, so that's also on my.
Dang, I wasn't expecting
That's on my list. That's on my list.
Yeah. So
Okay.
one of the reasons I picked Step Brothers was it's super rewatchable. Shout out to a podcast called Rewatchables. They talk about movies that stay, present in your brain. You can quote them. They stay fresh. It holds its value over time. Yeah, the acting is insanely good. The
Obviously, you got Will Ferrell. You got John C. Reilly.
cast, John C. Reilly.
I love John C. Reilly as a comedian. He does everything really well, but yeah, he makes that movie to me.
He's
I could-
great.
I could watch that movie again right now and get the same kick out of it.
He's doing great in his Lakers. I'm not gonna go off on that. I love his Lakers show he's got going on, but let's go back to
Alright. Shout out to John C. Reilly.
wide. Yeah.
All right, let's jump on
All
down
right,
to
so
Caleb here.
Caleb,
You got number 5.
Number 5.
Oh dang.
Let's see what you got.
All right, number 5. Oh man, this is Dream Team.
Wow.
Team.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's
All right.
80s comedy, true 80s comedy, and I don't know if you guys ever remember coming to my house when
That's
I was
why I
young.
watched it for the first time.
My dad was obsessed with this movie so much that he would ask everybody that even visited,
He'd ask me.
yeah,
He
have
asked
you
me.
seen Dream Team? And
Yep.
if not, oh, sit down.
Well, sit down, we're watching it.
it. He would force everybody to watch it, and I've seen it so many times, but
All right. So for anybody who hasn't seen it, that's the one where they mentally handicapped group of friends
Yep,
go on a field trip to
yeah.
a baseball game.
their doctor wants to take him outside of the hospital to a Yankees game,
Yeah.
and it's about that whole journey, and obviously it's funny. So it's
Starring
That's
the
the-
one he played Batman, right? Billy Crystal?
No, I mean, who was
Keaton.
it? It was
Keaton.
Michael
Michael
Keaton, right?
Michael Keaton. Yeah,
Billy
this was
Crystal,
in-
they're cousins.
He was in his prime, and he has so many killer lines in that movie.
That's one of
It's so
the.
quotable.
I had
it's
that-
Crazy.
I had that as my way back in the day when people used to record, their voicemails. That was my voicemail. It's the song. Hello, hello,
man. See, there's
hello.
Every character in that entire
What a
movie.
Wonderful word.
Hello.
No.
That was
no.
it, wasn't it?
No, that's Crazy People.
Oh, that's great. Well, same thing.
Whoa. I thought we were
Crazy
gonna keep
people.
it PG
I
or
was gonna
whatever.
say, wait, where are you talking?
I
about
thought
here?
that was it.
That's Crazy People, which is actually
can't say that word
also
anymore.
a similarly based movie, but totally different.
Oh man, I'm mixing them up.
It is, but yeah, you are. But it's still a great movie.
Okay.
Anyway, Dream Team number 5.
All right.
It's so classic, so many quotable lines, and the more you watch it, the more you love it.
Right.
That's
Okay.
important.
That's
That's
a good one.
Well,
important.
apparently I need to watch it again because I'm mixing
Yeah.
it up.
Just so you guys don't know, just so you know that we haven't talked about any of our top 5
Right, we've been-
before
we've been-
today.
Oh,
We've been
Christopher-
talking about.
Christopher Lloyd plays in that, and he does so good. Such a unique character in that movie.
I definitely got to rewatch that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
Number
haven't
5.
talked at all about these. We've been we came up with the idea for a podcast about a month ago, and we've just been setting everything up, getting everything ready. And this was my first thing. This is my idea for the first thing I wanted to do was the top 5, and my list started going up that night. And I've wanted to talk about it so bad for the last month. And it's we've been almost avoiding the
Yeah.
conversation.
It keeps almost coming up, and we're like, nope, don't,
Yeah,
don't tell me
talk,
you're
can't
5.
talk. All right,
Dan,
so
what do you got?
my number 5, I'm gonna go for number 5. See, I wrote all of them down. I didn't put them in numerical order. But
Rookie mistake.
it was actually Step Brothers also. But I'm gonna replace that. I'm gonna replace that with I'm gonna go with Office Space.
Are you replacing that, or are you moving it?
Well, since it's already there.
Hold
We
on,
already
hold
talked
on.
about it.
Did we just become best friends?
Yeah.
It doesn't count because you're brothers. It doesn't count.
Office Space.
Oh,
that's a
classic.
really, really good one.
I think
I didn't think
Yeah.
about
I
that.
think about that movie still
It
on a
wouldn't have
daily
made-
basis.
It wouldn't have made it on my 5, but it is a great.
Really?
No.
Wow, I thought that was
It's
one of the
so
most
good, though.
classic of comedies.
Yeah.
that
So
was good.
yeah, I mean is one of Mike Judge's big
Yeah.
movies.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, as I found out later, they didn't even have a red swing line stapler. That was a joke. They made it for the movie. That didn't exist. That was
What?
that a red one just didn't exist, and so that they wrote that into the movie, and then they actually
I
I was
don't
gonna
know.
say, didn't they make them?
yeah they started
themselves?
making them, and then
I
they
don't
took
know.
off. But yeah, that's true. That's true.
You guys at home better fact check that.
Yeah, we better
No,
fact check it.
I
We
don't
better-
know if that's accurate.
Put a comment below and see
Yeah.
if that's true. See when the red swing line stapler was
Yeah.
invented. But there's so many big things about that movie, and that's one of the movies that I think about because especially being in work and stuff, how he just kind of, he went to fix his mind, and then all of a sudden he just stopped caring. I think
Yeah.
a lot of people should do that, more often. I
They
think
hit
it's
that limit.
a good philosophy in life.
Yeah.
It's sometimes you care so much when you just shouldn't really care at all.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
All right, I
But
like
yeah.
that.
Yep.
Good
Yeah.
one. I didn't see that one coming.
That's good. I didn't either.
All right, we're to jump to number 4.
You're number 4.
All right, number 4, we got Super Troopers.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
That's
good
good.
I knew
one.
you would have a bunch of weird ones that I didn't.
Super
wouldn't
Troopers.
be expecting.
Weird one.
I mean,
What does that tell you about me?
They're good, but yeah.
I would agree with that. I would definitely put that
No,
on.
that is really good.
Yeah, like it's
Appreciate
definitely a top 10 for
I'll take
sure.
that.
And Super Troopers was that's one movie I remember seeing in theaters, and it actually hurt because I laughed so
Yeah,
much.
shout out to Broken Lizard, right? The ones behind the
Yeah, they've made a few good movies.
quite a few.
Super Troopers 2 obviously didn't have the same
Right. I
thing.
mean,
It was okay, but
Yeah.
Super Troopers
nothing
1
on
was
my
just
top 5.
yeah. It's like you can't catch lightning in a bottle twice. You know
Right.
that was just so good and so unexpected.
I was gonna say it caught people off guard.
Yeah.
It's not something. It was something new.
I feel like the cop comedy was like they've done it, like Police Academy and all those different things, but never in that way.
Yeah.
It was just like so off the.
Would you go as far to say as that movie helped create the foundation for another movie,
Another movie?
Green Valley Enforcement?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
So
feel like it kind of, was a predecessor anyway.
it helped us out. Yeah, it gave us ideas for sure. Green Valley Enforcement being the second movie we worked on, and I call it a movie. It's only like 35 minutes long.
It's a short one.
It's a
on
short-
YouTube.
a
You can
short
find
film.
it on the YouTube.
Yeah, and it was okay. It's a good movie. I love it. I think it's hilarious, and I watched it like a couple years ago, and I still thought it was funny to this day, and that
It is good.
definitely had some influence.
Yeah.
So,
All right,
all
gotta
right.
go to Caleb. Number
Caleb.
4.
Okay. Good. Number 4. Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
I
hear it.
mean, I know this is on Dan's list at least. Big Trouble in Little China.
What?
I actually didn't put that on my list.
Wow.
Only because I can see how it is a comedy,
Yeah. No,
but I thought of it more of an action
I was
comedy, and
gonna
that's
go
like
on
a
my
different.
Yeah.
fantasy.
and I understand that. It is kind of a questionable. Is that an actual
Yeah.
comedy?
Yeah.
But if it's funny enough, in my mind, it's comedy.
Right. I know. I
And
talked
that's
to
actually
you.
why I like it. It's like, because it's so funny is why I like it.
It
Not
is
because
hilarious.
such a
That's the
great-
best parts of it
Not
for
because
sure.
it's such a great adventure or something else like that. It's just got so much comedy in it.
Right.
It's questionably bad.
Oh yeah,
some
it
people's-
got
in some
really
people's
bad
eyes.
reviews. I know that.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff in it that's like, some effects that are kind of
A
questionable.
little cheesy. Yeah, a lot of neon lights in a
Yeah,
the
tons-
dungeon, kind of
Tons of neon lights.
weird.
The whole scene toward the end, it looks like it's in a mall or something.
Yeah.
Like that, like an 80s
Yeah,
mall.
it's supposed to be like in an underground dungeon instead of a
yeah,
mall.
it's just.
But
But anyway,
it's good. That's
it's
yeah.
great.
It's a great movie.
It's one of those movies again. Sort of like Dream Team. I could watch it again and again.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
got so many
Very
killer
quotable.
I've
lines
seen
in
it many
Killer
times.
lines.
Many
and
times.
that's why it's on the list.
And I know you guys know this, but I actually just saw the guy that played Lopan at the comic convention they had here in Austin just a few months ago, and I almost got his autograph. I have a Lopan shirt. I'll definitely wear it on the show eventually. I have a Lopan shirt because
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that movie.
How much did he want for an autograph?
I think it's $100 for a meet and greet. I would have gladly paid it.
That's
And he
not
was
bad.
Yeah.
he's like 93 years old now,
Yeah.
and he's still getting around. Like
Oh, yeah.
he's
Shout
he
out
should
to
charge
Lopan.
more every year.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's gonna be
yeah. It's,
unlikely.
yeah, that autograph's gonna get more and more. Eventually, they're gonna stop
Sorry.
coming. All right,
Right.
so my number 4, number 4 for me is gonna have to be. I wonder if this one's on your list.
Okay.
Airplane.
Hmm.
Is it on your list?
No.
Oh, okay.
first
The
one?
first airplane.
It's on my next 5.
Okay.
My
Yeah.
follow-up 5.
next
It is
5.
on
Yeah.
there.
For a number
Yes,
4,
it is.
I'm going with Airplane because
It's
number
great.
1,
It is good.
it's the entire movie's hilarious.
It is.
Like there's so many funny parts in Airplane that you have to watch it numerous times to even get all the funniness that happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're laughing from a previous thing and it skips right by the next thing.
Oh yeah.
And plus Leslie Nielsen is one of my favorite comedians.
He's
Like,
really good.
apparently he had started his career like working in like serious movies, like he even did like soap operas and stuff like that.
Mm.
Like he always played the straight man, and it wasn't until later in life that like in the late 70s that he started doing comedic roles, and Airplane was his big hit, obviously because he's not the best part of him is he keeps a straight face, and like it's just so funny because the things he says and does
Oh, yeah.
are so slapstick, but they're not slapstick. It's
Yeah.
like It's not like the pie in the face kind of crap. It's just like highbrow slapstick.
It is definitely a level of comedy, a questionable like slapstick level of
Right.
comedy that a lot of people don't. They find it so dumb
Yep.
that it's just not
Yeah.
funny.
Right.
And it's also
Like the
a
Mel
movie.
Brooks series.
It took me a while to start liking him.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
still used to see Naked Gun.
Yeah, I
and
loved
some
all the
other
Naked
movies.
Guns.
Yeah, no, I still don't like him. So
You
I
don't?
mean, I completely understand. I
Jeez.
understand people who don't
just
like
kidding.
him because it's such a unique like comedy and also kind of a dumb comedy,
yeah, that's
which
I
is what
think it's
slapstick comedy
highbrow.
is, and Loaded Weapon stuff
Like
like
how many
that.
how many times
that.
has anyone said to you like surely you can't be serious? And that's the first thing you
Oh, of
think of.
course.
Like it's like automatic. Like
yeah, that's corny.
I'm serious. Stop calling me Shirley
Yeah.
or whatever. It's like there's
I'm
just so many
serious,
great
yeah.
lines.
Oh yeah,
So many great lines.
I remember he said like, "Oh, they had to go to the hospital." Well, what is it? Oh, it's a place you take people.
Well, that's not important. I know.
Hospital.
A hospital? What is it?
It's a big building with patients, but that's not important right now. Tell the captain I must speak to him.
It is
so
it's
many
got
so many
good-
quotable
good
times.
lines.
Yeah, so many quotable lines.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go with number 3. Number 3 for
Number
you.
3, we're jumping to Dumb and Dumber, the first.
Wow.
We're only
okay.
going to talk about the first.
Oh man,
Yeah, I mean,
that's good.
so Dumb and Dumber.
I wasn't expecting that either.
Technically, if you-
I'm not expecting
Yeah.
any of these.
Yeah. So Dumb and Dumber
in,
had
man.
3 movies. Number 2 didn't count. Wasn't even the same actors.
Oh wow.
The third one I still thought was pretty funny. It got hammered in the theaters.
Yeah.
But I thought it's pretty funny. Like again, it's one of those movies.
Yeah.
You make it number 2 and you're just never gonna hit the same mark. You know, it's impossible. You set the bar so high, it's impossible to hit it.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. Just the acting.
Yeah, everything about it was
insanely
great. Everything about and you couldn't. The best part of Dumb and Dumber of that kind of comedy was you really didn't know where it's going. It's like it's one of those movies you don't know how it's going to end, so it's intriguing all throughout. You know, it's like how is this possibly going to end? Like
Yeah.
they get a suitcase full of money. You know they're burning through it all. Like how is this going to resolve itself? You know,
Mm-hmm.
and
It
obviously
just keeps going.
yeah.
Like, and you never expect it, right?
yeah, and then the love
Kick his ass,
story and
Seabass.
yeah, spilling salt. Yeah,
Speaking of Seabass, I mean, one of our good friends here, Caleb, I think his nickname might have been.
Yeah.
Seabass. Yeah, in high
Na-
school. Well, it was right after high school. It was that during high school.
During high school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Seabass, one of the many monikers he
Name's
went by.
Caleb. Starts with a C. People call me Seabass sometimes.
Makes sense. Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
that was
That's
one of the
another
nicknames growing up.
movie.
I feel like that's your password on everything too.
oh my
Oh,
gosh, this
no.
guy.
Dang it! I gotta change it all.
All right, Caleb.
right,
number
number
3.
Oh boy, this is a good one. And hint, it's on my shirt. The Burbs.
The Burbs.
Burbs.
Oh
Nice.
man, this is so
That's a good one.
So good.
That's another with a lot of star power with Tom Hanks.
Lots of people. Yeah.
Who you wouldn't think, I mean, would be in a
Corey
good like.
Feldman.
He's always in like the corny like
Yeah.
love kind of movie. Like his
Yeah.
comedy always. I don't know. It was
Money Pit was a great one
yeah.
of his.
that was good.
I
Yeah.
think that Burbs was the best he ever did. I think, but you know, he did some other good ones. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen like
Joe versus Volcano.
sure.
Yeah, that's
there
one
you
of 'em.
go. Or Forrest Gump.
That's definitely a good comedy. That's
Yeah.
hilarious. You know.
No, that was not comedy, but
The volleyball
no,
one.
Bottom line is of his whole entire career, I think I like the Burbs. Once he started getting past that, he started going into dramas. and
Yeah,
stuff and all
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Just like so many do, and it just so many good comedy actors make the greats, and then they go into dramas.
Yep.
and they just lose.
Even
me.
Jim Carrey did that.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of get out of comedy altogether.
Yeah,
I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, yeah, the Burbs.
Corey Feldman.
Feldman was
That
in
was
it.
a great one
Classic.
of his. Yeah.
Absolutely, he did a great job in that.
Mm-hmm.
Even to this day, I see anytime I go like to Target or anything, and I see a picture frame. That's the first thing I think of. Is,
It came with the frame.
like, oh, cute girl, friend of yours.
It came with the frame.
Oh, it came with the frame. Did it? There's a part where they grill
Yeah,
him.
the supporting actors probably made that.
Oh,
movie
they're great.
better.
Yeah, the
Oh man.
Rumsfeld or
no, the Klopowski.
The Klopak.
Klopeks. The Klopeks. Yeah,
No, I was thinking of the military guy.
that was Rumsfeld.
Rumsfeld. Yeah,
Rumsfeld.
yeah.
You could have cheated and just looked at his shirt.
Yeah, they're all there.
All right, so my number 3, I think number 3 for me is gonna go with another slapstick comedy.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
We're going to go with National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1.
I knew it. Wow. I'm surprised actually.
yeah,
seriously,
it's
I
one of
didn't
my
see
favorite
these
movies.
coming.
I've seen that movie
Huh?
probably.
I didn't see this coming for him.
No?
I don't think so.
Loaded Weapon 1, that's one of those movies that
Oh man.
I think about all the time. We used to go to
Oh.
Jewel late at night,
Oh yeah.
and we'd go through the magazine aisle. And this is something kids today will never understand.
Oh
And that
man.
when you would thumb through magazines, the magazines are actually like pieces of paper, mostly ads that
That's what a
have
magazine is.
articles about
You
things.
open it, all the ads would just fall out.
Yeah, it's
They
like
do.
YouTube, but in
They
picture
do.
form, and people write instead of talk.
Yeah.
So now that you know what that is, you know how you get spam emails. Well, the magazines were full of spam too. They're full of those spam postcard things that you'd put in. Every time you open them, they just pour out. Like you'd
mean,
open it up, and like a postcard would pour
YouTube is
out.
getting pretty bad too, if I don't mind saying here.
What?
The ads, usually it's like 4 seconds. Now there's 2 ads, each of them like 10 seconds.
We don't want to hate on YouTube. They're gonna,
mean-
they're the ones
I mean,
giving
we
us the
love
bread and butter. Love YouTube.
Yeah.
I love it.
But yeah, so when you open up the magazines, papers would fall out all
You know
over
which
the
ones
place.
were the worst? The crappy magazine.
The
Oh,
crappy
those
magazines.
crappy
Oh man, they were
ones.
crappy. Yeah, but so there's a part in the movie where they're looking through magazines and the camera pans away at something else. It goes back to them, and then they're standing like knee high and like
Yeah.
from one magazine.
And these
So-
little postcard looking things.
Yeah,
These little
so-
ads that fall out.
That and like what's his name? Tim Curry's in it. The Wilderness Girls. I
Oh,
think about
yeah,
that
yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, he's really good in that.
They have a play on Girl Scouts. He's like Wilderness Girls, and it's just anytime I see like Girl Scouts, that's the first thing I think of is Wilderness
I do
Girls. And
too,
there's so many
actually.
different things. Emilio Estevez, I mean, come on, and I guarantee you he's going to be in one of your top 5. I know it for a fact. He's going to be. Emilio Estevez is going to make a comeback.
don't
I
think
know it.
so.
Oh yeah, he's going to be in one of Caleb's top 5 movies for sure.
I definitely I have
Ooh,
him
this
pinned for
guy.
one.
I know
that
it.
I haven't heard yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I know 2 of them.
That's because we haven't hit the top.
Caleb and I
2.
both agree on the
There's
top
only
2.
2 left.
Right.
I mean,
And I'm gonna agree. I already know his
I'm
top
gonna
movie,
Yahtzee
but
and steal one of yours.
we'll see about that.
All
I
right,
don't
so
know.
anyways, National Lampoon's Low Weapon 1. If you haven't seen it, see it. It's absolute classic slapstick, just like Airplane. Same feel.
Yeah.
So number 2, we're getting towards the top here.
Number 2, you guys definitely didn't see this coming, but I saw it recently, and you know, a lot of my favorites have been older movies, 80s movies, 90s, whatever. This one I saw in theaters not too long ago. Any guesses?
Not too long ago.
Wow.
How long?
A newer movie made your
newer
top 2?
movie.
Wow.
I have. My
Well,
number
top
2.
Oh, these
Top 5.
guys.
My number 2 is a movie within the last 10 years, last 5 years
Wow,
maybe. I
Okay.
can't remember. Time flies.
I need to find a new bike.
We are so comment in the comments there if you want to be on the podcast. We're looking for replacements.
Apparently.
Wait, for me or for?
We
Oh.
do have a silent partner over there.
Yeah,
We don't like talk about him.
That's
Yeah.
not who I am.
kinda-
Anyway, Cocaine Bear, guys. Number 2.
No.
Cocaine Bear.
Holy mackerel.
I don't even think it's a
Number
comedy. I think it's a
2?
horror movie technically.
How many times have you seen it?
I'm just saying. I only seen it once,
One
but-
time. I
but
think,
my abs are still hurting from laughing so hard.
wow.
I did laugh a lot, but I thought there's a lot of dumb parts in it.
There was a lot of dumb parts.
That wouldn't be in. I don't think that movie would be in my top 50. Now, that's not to say I didn't think it was.
Dang.
I didn't think it was a bad movie. I
You know
just think
what?
that's number 2 was a legendary
Yeah.
movie.
When I was formulating my list, this one kind of snuck
Oh,
back
man.
in there. You know, when I was thinking about what made me squeeze my stomach so tight that it hurt.
Right.
Like this is, you know, fresh on my brain.
Wow,
Cocaine
I have to
that's
say though,
wild.
I have to
it's
say
not even
though,
a.
I'm
It's like a
telling you,
horror
surprise
comedy.
after surprise.
There
coming
were-
up with
I
this
know.
guy.
there were other influences at play here. I don't know if you guys remember. But
Yeah,
we
you're-
talked together.
I remember you
Oh,
might have
I
been
definitely
not
remember.
thinking right.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't cocaine. I'll tell you that. much, but I was, you know, in a different state of mind. We'll say.
Right. More free. Yeah.
Yeah.
More in an herbal state of mind is what you were, I believe.
right.
And it's all right. I mean,
Okay.
I think that's why I think you just need to see it again. I think if you watch it a second time, it drops
Oh, man,
immediately.
You're
that
off
was
right.
you.
Terrible.
You could
Take
be
it off
right.
his top 5.
All right, but
So-
number 2 for you,
Yeah, let's
Caleb.
Okay. Ooh, it's getting real.
It's getting
now,
super real, man. It's getting
Oh my gosh, this is so good.
All right.
Better Off Dead.
Better Off
Better Off
Dead
Dead.
is on
Oh
my list.
Gosh,
However,
that is
I
a
marked
sack.
Better Off Dead number 6 for myself. It was actually fighting for
Whoa,
top
whoa, whoa,
for
we're
number
not
5.
talking about number 6s here
Yeah,
today.
No, no, no.
Top 5.
But it was it was on the cusp
Yeah.
of 5 or 6,
It
and
got
that's when I
cut.
switched.
it got cut.
It just moved down one. You know, it's still
Okay.
in a great position.
Hey, bottom line is, it's up there. And
John
you know what?
Cusack.
I appreciate that.
Is it now? let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Is it John Cusack or John Cusack?
Oh gosh. Let's not talk about it.
Yeah, that's an argument for another
That's
day.
so controversial.
Let us know what you think in the comments.
put either
Spell
Q or
it out in the comments.
yeah,
and
put
let us
Q
know.
or Q. You know,
Yeah,
Q or Q.
Q. Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
but anyways, yeah, Better Off Dead,
That
classic
is
movie.
I mean, I guess every movie I talk about is even more quotable than the previous.
Oh yeah,
one.
and for good reason. That's why we're working our way to number 1 here.
Oh yeah, it's
Right.
just. I mean, we talk about. I quote this movie almost daily.
So
Yeah.
for Better Off Dead, it's got 2 very important things. Number 1, it's got my favorite car of all time in it. It's a 1968 Camaro, RS SS mix with the darked out headlights. I saw it in that movie. That's the first time I've ever seen. I've seen a million Camaros, but I remember seeing that movie. And when they pulled the sheet off it after they fixed it, I was just like, damn, that's a car. You know, it's just, man, I need to get one of those. And it's still on my list to get as soon as the podcast kicks off here. That's the first thing. We're
Does
buying all
anybody
the
not know
podcast
that
money.
movie? I mean, it's all.
Oh, no one knows that movie. I'm shocked at how many people have never heard of Better Off Dead.
1985.
Yep.
I mean,
Classic.
it was
Yeah.
another 80s comedy. There were so many classics that came out of the 80s.
It had what's his name from Revenge of the Nerds? I can't. Was his name Booger in it?
It is in the Nerds, yeah.
Yeah. What is this guy doing?
But
Oh, the best part, and it's still to this day when I see garbage trucks go by. That's the first thing
Oh,
I think.
yeah.
Also, they're like, that's a damn shame throwing away a perfectly good white
What
boy like
was
that.
so that line was used in 2 movies, and the other movie is
It's-
in my top 10.
Okay,
Interesting.
I know
Which
exactly
is
what you
odd
are.
because
Yeah.
it's the same line used in 2
Are we allowed to?
movies.
Are we waiting for another episode before we talk about the top 10, or should we divulge a little? Because I know what you're
You
talking
already
about.
talked about your 6.
He's talking about Men at Work.
We're talking about Men at Work.
What else though? What other movie?
Men at Work.
That's what I'm talking about. Better Off Dead and Men at Work, they both use that line.
Oh, okay. I thought
There's
it was
both
the third.
somebody-
Is it the same character or no? Is it
I
the
don't
same?
know.
That'd be
No.
hilarious.
No, nobody's the same. I don't know. I don't know why they
Huh.
did that, but yeah, that's
I wonder if there's a connection there.
there
Same
might-
writer.
I wouldn't doubt it. I
have to
really
look
wouldn't
into it.
doubt it.
We'll have our
There's
people
some
look into it.
connection. Yeah.
You guys look into it for
If you
us.
guys know, please comment below. I've never looked into it, but I've always wondered,
There's
which is silly because
gonna be a lot of comments below,
Googling
just
10
fixing all of our
seconds.
problems here. All right, my number 2, and I knew this was number 2 right away. Right when I thought of the list, I was like, "There's only one that can be number 1,"
Yeah.
and
I
this
agree.
this
Oh,
one,
man.
obviously, there's only one number 1,
There's only
but
one
clearly
number one.
classic for me.
I mean,
I didn't
I
even
agree
have to
with
think
your
about
number
it.
one.
I didn't even have to think about it. I just knew.
What is it?
We're talking about 2.
We're talking about a
No,
2.
don't-
You're trying to jump the gun.
Yeah,
here.
you're trying to talk about number 1.
Yeah, I'm talking about number
No, show
2.
okay.
Show me what.
And
you
number
got.
2 for my personal
Yeah.
personal beliefs, the second greatest comedy of all time, Tropic Thunder.
Dang.
Wow. What?
That's a lot of dead air for you savages.
I mean, that is no doubt
Tropic Thunder is
a
one of
100
the
for sure.
comedy that's
it is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my life. I laughed
yeah.
so hard. I remember there's a certain scene where involving the main character getting attacked, and I laughed so hard that I couldn't breathe. Like I almost passed. I was like crying, laughing, and that was the hardest I've ever laughed in theaters.
Which character was it?
Is Tug Speedman, also known as Derek Zoolander.
Mm,
Like all the
Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller, yeah.
interesting.
So Ben Stiller is the main character in it. Plays Tug Speedman, and I mean there's so many stars in it. There's Owen Wilson, Tom Cruise is in it. Like
They all play very unique characters, though.
yeah, that's what I
They're
loved
norm-
about it.
They're out of their norm, like all
Way
of
out of the norm. I mean, the only one even close is Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
He plays
He
that
always plays
character
it,
like
yeah.
a goofy kind of
Yeah.
lead. But I remember the very beginning of the movie just had me sold with all the explosions and stuff,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it's like just
They're
the
filming.
filming and everything just goes to crap, and then the entire plot is just hilarious. Like actors going
Oh,
out
yeah.
like to real life
Mhm.
survival mode, and they don't know it. They all think it's part of the movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, come on,
Robert
Downey
Jr. 's-
Jr.
He's playing like
a
questionable
blackface
character.
character. Yeah, that he's the only one in the world that could get away with that kind of stuff.
Oh man.
Wouldn't go around these days. That's for sure.
A lot of people, I've seen different things about that where people like try to give him crap for it now. You know how that's a big thing to give
Yeah,
people like,
after the fact.
oh yeah, like 20 years later, they're like, oh, you can't do that. It's not funny anymore.
Nowadays, you can't do that.
Oh my gosh. Those guys
feel
are
like he did that when it was. You can't do that nowadays, and he did.
It was- yeah, it was-
when he did it.
staying close to it. Yeah. And even,
I don't know.
but I mean, even a lot of,
He
like,
nailed it though.
a lot of people have said, like, I don't speak for any type of people at all, but from the interviews I've seen, like, everyone just said it's totally cool with him. That he's the only one that could pull it off, and he did it. So
What do you mean by everyone?
Yeah. What do
What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people? So many, like, that's one of the things I think about all the time. There's so many different lines in it. It's just a absolutely fantastic movie. I laughed so hard. I actually have the 4K ultimate version of it, and I can't wait to watch it again. I just pulled it out. It's like, I need to watch this again.
Yeah.
I would watch it.
That's going to be a
I've
rewatch.
seen it recently.
Clearly, if it's not in your
Again?
top 5, you guys need to watch it again. So,
All right.
No. It's
all right. So here we go. We're getting darn close
No,
to the
before
end.
we
Yeah.
step into this.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You
Whoa.
know, final top of the top. The best of the best. Should we talk about where we're from? Where this podcast is coming out of?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
I think we should.
Yeah, I think we should just go ahead and get
That's
it out
good.
there.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Go there.
I mean, I think we're all from the Northwest,
Central.
Central. I
North
mean,
Central.
Yeah.
Central.
Yeah.
North.
So we all, a little background on us before
That's-
we get to the very the heart of the matter, which is
Yes.
the number one.
If the movies
Yeah,
haven't
let's
told
just-
you enough
Let's
about
give some background.
us.
Where,
Alright.
where,
So we're all from a little tiny town all the way north in Illinois, right next to the lake called Zion, or Zion if you're
Zion.
from Zion.
Yeah.
yeah.
But if you look at it on the map, you go
Well-
Zion. That's how you know you're not from Zion.
If
Yeah.
the war were over tomorrow, Zion's where the party would be.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it was.
And that's where it was.
Until winter comes.
Until
and
winter,
then It's
yeah.
no longer a party.
So we all met. Obviously, Andy and I met previously before that, but that's where we met. We
Right.
went to Zion Bend. We all went to high school
We
together.
go way back though.
But we all met in high school. We all skateboarded together. It's kind of how, besides you and I, it's how me and you got to know each other.
Yeah.
And then through working out, like, and watching movies. We had one class together that we had, and that's how we
Yeah.
really got to know each other. And you're like, oh, you should come over and work out sometime. I was like, well, okay. So,
Might as well.
so might as well. And that's how I met your dad. And I
mean-
guarantee you, your dad was right away. He asked me if I ever seen Dream Team.
Oh,
I remember
he
that.
had to be an influence
Yeah.
in your movie watching in some way.
Yeah,
Definitely
so,
was.
and from there, we've watched a million movies together.
Oh man.
I've fallen asleep on your couch many times trying to get through
And in
one of the
I'm sure.
one of the classic movies. I always fell asleep. I remember we watched it probably 20 times. And I fell asleep at least 10.
yeah.
Wait, could I guess?
What?
Willow.
No.
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 Whoa, what is he?
What are you
I
talking?
mean, I never fell asleep during Willow, but
Well, I don't. This guy might be on herbs again or something. I don't know. Willow. That's a classic movie. I love Willow. No, I've never fallen asleep with Willow.
Matt
there's-
Mardigan over here.
There's one movie.
That's a.
There is a
Alright,
there is a movie that has an outstanding beginning, outstanding end, and the middle of it just sucks. It's just
Strange Brew.
Strange Brew. I
I
fell
was only kidding
asleep.
about the Willow thing.
Yeah, I fell asleep so many times during Strange Brew because the middle of it is just so long.
Well, I can't say I've ever fallen asleep during a movie, but
I don't know.
it does get slowed through.
I'm
that
pretty
movie.
sure there's some videos we could dig up
No,
here.
I doubt it.
Yeah, well, we'll look into that. We'll look
Strange,
into that.
Strange Brew, guys.
Look
Strange
at it- look
Brew.
into
Strange
that.
Brew is a good one. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get to
Yeah.
the tops. I think people have been waiting for this very moment
Right.
to
Do
find
it.
out
Let's
what
get
the
it.
greatest movie
All right,
of all time is.
Zionites.
Oh,
Here we
we're not,
go.
we're not broadcasting from Zion though.
Oh no, we all
By the way,
moved.
No,
We-
no.
No, we're out of there.
We are now in.
Where are we
in-
at?
In Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. Yeah,
Shout out to the capital city.
Yeah.
this guy's shouting out to everyone.
Oh man.
We are in Austin. We broadcast out of Austin. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
That's where we're at right this
That's
second.
where all of us
Sure.
live now.
Well, I'm pretty sure he's not from here.
He is not from here.
He's legal though, right?
We don't ask questions like that.
Let's not talk about.
We're talking about movies.
We
not-
moved down here to take advantage of a lot of beautiful opportunities, if you know what I'm saying.
All right, guys, I got to
Let's
tell
do
you
it.
my number
Our
one.
number one.
All right,
let's do
number
it.
Number one we got, which is a beautiful segue from him to me, is Zoolander.
Wow.
Can I
number
get,
one,
Can
huh?
I get an amen to Zoolander?
As number one?
Number one, baby.
Yeah, no,
Great
man.
movie.
Timeless.
These Ben
Timeless.
Stiller movies are
Ben
Yeah.
Stiller,
boom, boom, boom.
crushing it.
I mean, I agree. It's
Drop
a great
the mic.
movie.
That is a great movie.
Number 1 of all time.
Top 5.
But definitely classic. Definitely good.
It is a classic.
Another,
no doubt about it.
yet another case of
The fact that
they
you
made it
guys
number 2.
have not mentioned Zoolander yet kind of
It's
is
surprising.
it's making me judge our friendship a little differently in this moment.
Wow.
I mean, I think it is a movie of its time. You know, maybe 10 years ago I would have quoted it a little bit more. I still do think anytime I turn left, I to tell people I'm not an ambi-turner. So it's
I'll challenge you to a dance off or a walk off. I mean,
a walk off.
a walk off. The mics weren't hot right now. So hot right now.
Yeah, I mean that's another.
See what I'm saying? Quotable.
There's a lot of there's a lot.
So many good
Another
lines.
Owen Wilson,
Oh.
you know, in his prime. Ben Stiller, obviously in his prime. Yet,
Yeah.
this is a great
Another
movie.
support by the one and only Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell. Yeah.
I still feel like the most quoted line from that movie, which I feel like ridiculously a lot, but is when people see a small thing, they're always like, "What is this? A center for ants?"
Yeah. Yep. I still say
I'm
that
like,
too.
A
Yep.
lot of people say that, and I'm like, it always reminds I'm always
Right.
like, oh, people do still quote that movie. you
Or
know?
whenever I look in the mirror, I just tell myself I'm really, really just ridiculously good looking.
Ridiculously good.
Of course.
Do you have give him a blue steel? You got blue eyes.
Close enough.
Close enough.
I nailed it.
Nailed it. All right. So here's how well I know this guy here. I want, because we're moving on to our both top ones of all time. I have to agree with you. I don't even know what it is, but I know you so well. I know what it is. So on 1, 2, 3, and then on the 4th beat, we're gonna say at the same time
Can I
what the
say
number
what I
one
think it is?
If you get it right, yeah. On the 4th beat,
I bet he knows what it is.
there's
Of course I know what it is.
1, 2, 3,
UHF.
F. Right, UHF. Exactly. UHF is the
Yeah.
best comedy of all time.
It is the best, hands down. There's nothing that even challenges it.
Yeah, there's so many things in that movie that I think
Oh,
about
man.
daily. Like from anything from the crazy shows like Bowling for Burgers and like
Yeah.
all the crazy shows they made.
There's no slow point in that movie.
No,
It
no.
just is laugh, laugh, laugh,
Yep.
laugh. It's
End.
the whole way through.
Laugh,
And
laugh, 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 end.
Yeah. And then when you're done watching it, watch it again, and you'll laugh even harder than the last time, and it just continues that way until.
But once you've seen it 20 or 30 or 100 times like we
Yeah.
have,
It just gets funnier.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Interesting.
It doesn't hold its value over time.
Okay. Oh man, that's hard. So anyway,
This guy is Cocaine Bear. Is
my
number
first time I saw that movie. So that movie's like again an '80s comedy.
Yeah, 80s. Yeah.
And I saw it in the '80s, and I remember watching it over a friend of mine's house, and I was young. I mean, I'm talking like ridiculous.
Barely legal.
Oh, barely. Oh,
If even.
I don't know how old I was, like maybe 10 or something, maybe younger, maybe not 8 or 9. Anyway, I was over his house. I had never seen it before. He threw it on, and it changed my entire life instantly.
Yeah.
I mean, instantly. And ever since then, I've seen it. Oh my gosh! I swear I've seen that movie more than any other movie. I mean, it's not even a question.
Thousands, I'm sure.
And it's never a single time been boring. It's always like, wow, man, this is so awesome.
And it's not like those characters went on to do other like feature-length movies.
None of them. Well, actually,
Stanley
yeah,
Spadowski.
that was Kramer from Seinfeld.
Right,
Yeah.
he did a TV show for like 100 years in a row, but what else? Comedy-wise, what has he done?
I mean that's pretty big.
What's the
right?
main character's name? Weird something.
Weird Sal.
Al? Weird Sal. Weird gal.
Weird Gal. Yeah. Gal Gadot. Weird Gal Gadot. Yeah, I tell people about that movie. Again, it shocks me how many people have never seen UHF.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, how? Like, I don't remember how I saw it. I don't remember
Yeah.
my first time ever watching it. It's probably on like cable or something, and
Yeah.
we watched it. And I remember I taped it because I liked it so much, and I watched it all the time on this crappy old tape. And then it kind of felt, after I seen it probably tons of times, I kind of, never really watched it again because it's on cassette, back
Yeah.
then VHS. And then I met you, and you were one of the only other people that liked it as much as me.
Right.
And I was like, oh man, that's why we became friends. Basically,
Yeah.
is UHF.
Well, they stopped making it. It was
Yeah.
not
They stopped printing on
yeah, they
VHS
stopped-
and everything.
Right. They stopped, and then you couldn't get it.
Right.
It was nowhere. And so for a
Did
long,
you have a
long
hookup?
time. Oh, I luckily had the original. But it was like you couldn't find it anywhere.
That's probably worth
I
money
wanted
now.
a DVD, and they didn't make them on DVD.
Yeah.
It was like, I mean, we're talking about from VHS to DVD. There was no such thing as a DVD on, so on
Yeah.
UHF. So it was crazy. And then finally, it came back, and you could finally buy it. I remember when it first came back, I was like, oh my gosh!
Oh, I remember that,
I'll
yeah.
pay whatever it costs.
Yep.
Just and
Take
then-
my money.
yeah, and then it became,
Yeah,
now-
that's another just a movie with so many great quotes, like
oh man,
all
it's so
throughout the
good.
movie. The marble and the oatmeal, drink from the magic fire hose, wheel of fish.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? Are you ready, Weaver? It's like so many awesome parts. Like it's just classic all the way through.
And if you've never had a Twinkie Wiener sandwich,
oh,
oh, you better get on that.
I don't even want to think about that. I've never had that, personally speaking, but
I think
know
I
you
remember
have.
a part of that movie before I had ever heard about it, which was the Rambo sequence.
oh, that's great. Yeah.
Conan the
man.
Librarian,
That was one
right?
of his dream
Yep.
sequences. Yeah.
Wait.
Wasn't
No.
it?
Conan the Librarian is a
different ones?
completely different part. Yeah, there's
Alright.
the Rambo
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
There's the librarian.
That was a real part of one of his shows.
Yeah, that he was making for
But
it.
yeah, unfortunately, I feel like that movie falls under that category of one of those that you might watch it once and might be kind of so like weirded out from it. Weird Al.
It was strange. It was
But
definitely-
you might not watch it again, or you might think, "Oh, that was weird," but
Yeah.
that was kind of funny, but whatever. But it's like a lot of movies in that sector, I guess. Unless you've watched it multiple times, you'll never really grasp the full depth of comedy from that movie.
Oh, there's so much.
And
Like from Indiana Jones.
I'm
Like
not
there's so
gonna-
many things.
yeah,
And
lot of
just the
references.
idea.
just
I think just the idea, especially
the
for
type,
us.
type of comedy.
Yeah,
yeah.
The,
you just
and
don't
the
really
idea of
appreciate
it, of getting your own TV show and getting
Yeah,
to create your own
exactly.
shows to be on it is
And also, I think there's a lot of like little things that are done that you don't really catch. That later on, next time you watch it, I feel like that's another thing. Every time you watch it, you catch more and more and more. 'Cause
oh yeah,
every single detail of that movie is hilarious.
right.
You know?
I couldn't agree more. I think we both agree it's
Oh,
number one,
All right, UHF folks.
and
Check it
that's
out.
UHF.
UHF is
No doubt about it.
absolutely
The best of the best.
yeah, definitely better than Cocaine Bear. For sure.
Whoa, whoa.
This guy's in for a surprise when he sees it again.
I know, seriously.
Maybe
It-
lowest blow over there.
All right.
Oh,
Well,
my
I mean
God.
that's pretty much it. I mean, I guess we'll go with that for the episode. We'll see our way out of here.
That
and
covers the top 5. If you have not seen any of these or not seen one of these that are in top 5, I mean, these are the best of the best.
the best of the best in our own
And
personal.
we have a
like, luckily, we agree with
We have
the
a lot
number
of
one. We have our top
Yeah.
fives are different except for the number one.
yeah.
So if you guys would be so kind in the comments below, just say, what do you think is who had the best top 5 series?
And what's
what do
your
you think?
top 5
What's your top
I was
5
gonna
and
say
who had the
comedies,
best ones
of comedies?
of comedies? Yeah, it has to be, and it doesn't have to be the best movies of all time. Again,
No.
it's your personal
The
favorite comedy.
funniest movies you've ever
You
seen.
know what? I guarantee there's one that we missed here tonight.
There has to be.
Somehow, it escaped us all. So
Yeah.
let us know what you think,
Yeah.
which one we missed.
And we'll have to revisit this again in some time.
There
Maybe
were
have the
some
next
movies-
top 5.
Yeah, there's
you know?
some movies that were so close
Right.
to these that are on our next top 5 that we didn't even really discuss.
Right, so we'll do next
but-
top 5 and see.
I mean, Dan put his 6th out there.
well, I had
He
to.
did. He threw
Honorable
that out
mention.
there.
What do you got for us, Caleb?
An honorable mention.
Well, I'll throw one out there.
Throw one out.
The Jerk.
Ooh, yeah,
Woo!
yeah.
Yeah.
Steve.
And
Nice.
Steve Martin, the jerk.
oh man, that's a good one.
That's
That
one of
is
the
a good one.
optograbs, right?
Oh, that's another. There's so many great things from that movie. but we
That
won't go
one,
into that,
dude.
but-
That put him on the map for sure.
Oh, that was when he was in his prime. Absolute
right after
prime.
Saturday
And
Night
then he
Live,
started
yeah.
going into Father of the Bride and down the drama trail.
Yep, as they all do. As they all do.
And
F
my
that
honorable
crap.
mention over here,
Yeah,
if I may,
please.
there's something about Mary.
Oh,
Again,
okay.
There's
mean, that's
something
a-
about Mary.
There's
Just
that's
another
a great
interesting-
What do you
movie.
mean
Another
again?
Ben Stiller movie, right?
Did he say again just now?
Another?
Another.
This guy's all
I
about Ben
mentioned-
Stiller and Cocaine
I
Bears.
mentioned two. You mentioned one of his.
Yeah, for sure. He's on there.
All right, so we
Not
agree.
good. We agree. Oh, I agree. All of yours were good. Well, most of yours were good.
Whoa.
But
Low
yeah, it's a
man.
great one.
Mr. Brother Love.
My last honorable mention, just so we can.
So
end
you
on
get
a
you
good
get
note
two
here.
and we get one. Okay.
I didn't even do a number one.
Okay,
You
what
agreed
is
with
that?
his number one.
What did you say?
I thought you were tying into UHF.
You were tying in UHF, right?
Yeah, we're tying into.
You
but-
guys were camel toe high fiving over there.
Yeah, for sure, because we have great taste. For to round it out,
Yeah.
Three Amigos would be one of the top 10.
Oh, gross.
That's your follow up.
Yeah, I think it was on the list. It's the top 10.
Oh.
Yeah, in the top 10. Yeah. Three Amigos. We're not going there, man. That movie's
Let's
just,
just not
great.
go- Can we go back and cut before you said that?
that's a good movie.
Did you not just bring up Steve Martin and how great he was?
And then I said he went.
Steve Martin, Martin Short, Chevy Chase.
Martin
And
Short
those
is
are
great.
all fantastic. They
Oh,
all
that's
have,
great.
They all have their height, and then I don't know if that happened.
And they all
Was that
bottomed out in the same movie.
was that right after it? Maybe it was
I
that.
don't
the-
know
Oh
because
my
Martin
gosh.
Short went from there to
That
Clifford.
was a
I
good
think
movie, by the way. That was a good movie.
Clifford's a
I don't
great
wanna-
movie too.
Clifford was a great movie.
Clifford.
Just kidding, serial.
We're gonna get into this late another time.
Yeah,
but
this is gonna get
Clifford
long.
is one that's highly controversial.
Controversial.
People hate it. People love it.
Yeah. We love it.
But anyways,
More
yeah.
you
Tell
watch,
us what
the
you
more
guys
love it.
think
Anyway.
in the comments.
Hey, by the way, tell us what you think about Clifford. By the way.
Yeah, Clifford's a great movie. We'll catch you next time. We'll have another. I don't know what we're gonna do next, but we'll have another idea.
Let's just do
And-
another episode right after this one.
Yeah, we'll just stop
Yeah.
this one, go right
Hey,
after.
Tune into the next
So-
episode. You're gonna love it.
Click
All right.
over there. for The next episode.
Click
All
on
right,
one of
guys.
these
This
boxes.
this is a brand new channel, so if you could give us a little help, like, subscribe,
Please subscribe.
please. We need it. We'll beg for it for these first few episodes here because
Don't
we,
forget
we
to
need
share.
it. And share, share. Tell all your friends to list their top 5 comedies in the comments, and we'll all
We
have a
love
good laugh.
comedies.
We'll all have a good laugh together. A good laugh.
And
So-
if you, I want to, if you guys listen some comedies in there that I don't agree with, I'm going to be commenting on them. And if they're ones that are in my top 10 that I didn't talk about yet, I'll be sure to let you
You will
know.
find the marble in the oatmeal.
Yeah.
We we should do a follow up video to their top 5s.
Yeah, but we see a
Maybe.
lot of comments in there about specific movies. There seems to be some clear common denominator.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
gonna. We'll
Well,
talk
we might
about it
have
in
to
the
Talk
next
about it. We'll bring it
episode.
up for sure.
Yeah.
But that's going to do it for this one. We'll catch you guys later on the flip side. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And this is It's Always Something.
Always
podcast.
something.
We're out of
Always
here.
Something.